last summer and fall, painted and soft-shell turtles dug nests in the ground, then walked away. The babies hatched months ago. They spent the entire winter waiting, frozen beneath the ground. But now they're waking up. And before they can reach the safety of the water, they have to survive one of the most dangerous journeys of their lives.
One of the biggest threats to painted turtles is raccoons, skunks, foxes, coyotes, great blue heron, a snake. It's a really hard life to be a turtle.
A life on the run begins now. We're joining these tiny travelers on the biggest journey of their lives, hoping to witness the moment they reach the water for the very first time. A tiny turtle's biggest journey. Let's go. Nature is awesome. From big to small, there's so much adventure, from the deep and dangerous wilderness to your own backyard. We take you on a journey inside a world like you have never seen.
Right there. Oh.
An inside look at what it takes to preserve, rehab, and respect our wildlife, and just what nature photographers are willing to put themselves through to capture and share the beauty of our natural world for all to see. That's wild. Let's go. Spring Lake Campground, backwaters of the mighty Mississippi. It's a busy time of year here for owners Danika and James because you see, not just people are coming and going for life experiences here. Turtles too, and lots of them.
Any particular day of the week, you may see 2 turtles, you may see 25 turtles, and they're all seeking out a spot to lay their eggs, so it's a fun time.
And you've been out there watching them lay the eggs
right.
this year in particular.
Being right on the banks of the Spring Lake, which is backwater Mississippi River water, it's the perfect environment for them because it's shallow, a lot of plant life.
Perfect place at this multi-generational campground for the next generation of soft-shell painted turtles.
Yeah, it's just amazing the process of what they can do in 20 minutes of laying that amount of eggs.
Yeah.
And then from digging the hole to laying the eggs to then covering it back up, and when they leave, you would never even know there's a turtle egg nest there.
Our youngest daughter was walking down here, and she's like, "There's something on top of the gravel pile," because they're kind of unique-looking animals, right? They have this long face with a pointed snout, and she was right up on top.
Right on top.
Yeah, of the gravel pile, digging a hole and laying her eggs in there. And then I was able to watch her the whole time. She laid them all, pat them down, slowly slid down the gravel, walked out here and ran back to the lake. So we're able to see that experience. And we had campers that were watching it with us too. So, being this close to the water and the lake and seeing them in their natural habitat is pretty special.
So months after their mothers buried them and moved on, the race is on. And so are we. Nahant Marsh, where our turtle expert, Jimmy Wiebler, hopes to help us find a painted turtle, trying to stay one step ahead of its predators.
One of the biggest threats to painted turtles is raccoons. Raccoons they're really good at finding those turtle nests, and they'll actually depredate the eggs and consume the eggs, and they would definitely take a small hatchling turtle too if they got their hands on it. So raccoons are pretty hard on turtles, but there's other predators too, skunks, foxes, coyotes, even a bullfrog could eat a baby turtle, a great blue heron, a snake. There's all kinds of predators, and so it's a really hard life to be a turtle. The little ones, we think of turtles as having that hard bony shell that helps protect them as a shield. They can go inside that shell, but when they're that young, when they're only the size of a quarter, their shell's not hardened yet, and they're small enough to be consumed by predators. So
the quicker they get to water, the better protection they have.
They've got a lot better protection in the water. There's a lot of vegetation and things that they can hide underneath. There's certainly still predators in the water, so it's still a challenge for turtles to survive. They're really best protected as they grow older and that shell starts to harden and they're a little bit bigger.
How long does it take for the shell to harden?
It takes, I'd say, a year or two. It's named for the bright coloration that you see on the shell and on the skin markings. And the painted turtles are different than other aquatic turtles in that they actually hibernate underground for the winter time.
Now we have to watch our steps.
Noah will watch where you step too.
Noah too, as he's trying to walk backwards for a bit.
Any turtles today, Zach? Not any yet.
Zach, adding to his duties, painted turtle wrangler. He's already helped a half dozen in water yesterday alone.
I didn't know you guys found that many.
We keep searching, wondering, why do they nest so far away from the water?
They like to nest along the railroad tracks up here. They might be nesting in the prairies over here. The females are going to choose an upland site that hopefully doesn't get flooded.
Okay.
And like I said, the females will come up, they'll dig a nest about 4 inches under the ground. They dump their eggs in there, and they cover it up, and that's the extent of their parenting. The female will head back to the water, and
Oh, really? Just leave them?
That's it.
Just see
That's
what
all they
happens.
need to do. The young are on their own. The eggs will hatch out in about 50 days, depending on the species.
Walking a bit more,
This is the
and
danger
then
zone. Look what we have here.
Look at this.
We've got a little baby painted turtle.
Oh, yeah.
so I gotta ask, why they're just hanging out on the road?
So it's really just sitting there, maybe resting before it goes next on its journey.
Yeah, they've probably used a lot of their energy reserves over the wintertime, so they're in their nest over winter, and they don't eat while they're in there. They have what's called a yolk sac near where their belly button would be, and they live off the energy reserves from that yolk sac while they're in the nest. So they've probably used a lot of that. So they're going to use whatever energy they have left to make it to the water, and they can begin eating right away. They're going to be eating little insects and macroinvertebrates, so small water bugs. These are omnivores, so they can also eat aquatic vegetation. So
when you handle them, if you handle them this way on the side,
yep, just very because their shell is soft, so just carefully, yep,
so just very
just
careful.
carefully pick them up. And
Boy or girl? Well, won't be able to tell from under here.
so a relatively warm nest is going to create female turtles, and a relatively cool nest is going to create male turtles. And there's a temperature at which you can get sort of a mix of male and females, but I think it's really interesting that turtles and a lot of reptiles have what's called temperature-dependent sex determination. So it's that temperature that those eggs incubate that will determine whether it's a male or female.
Helping him or her along the way, we head to the water.
Kind of help them out a little bit. So
He's hitching an Uber.
Quick detour as Zach has found something.
Oftentimes they'll be found right along the concrete. They'll find material with like the gravel and stuff. They like to hide their eggs down in there. Oftentimes it feels impenetrable and you won't get through, but they find a way. The moms always find a way and get it in there, work their way in. And then
So there's probably another one under here.
there's potential that there's more in here. We put the loose material that was still on here on top to allow them to get a little bit more time, keep a little bit more protected from other predators, and hopefully in a day or two more will come out.
We are ready for the big release
all right,
for the little guy.
we're going to send this little one home.
But our journey was not over. Back at the campground, Danika is putting in a little overtime as the soft shells have now hatched. She captured this cool moment for us.
Must be kind of cool to see when you hear them going back in the water and you're like, there's that life cycle
Yes.
continuing here, you know?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
From a nest hidden beneath the sand and the soil to their first glimpse of open water, the odds may be stacked against these little guys. The tiny travelers, though, have a few helping hands and a lot of determination. Another generation is on its way. Now that's wild. That's wild. Let's go. Hey, subscribe, tell a friend, help us keep growing and going. A shout out to the businesses taking a walk on the wild side with us: Peterson Plumbing and Heating, QCA Pools and Spas, and our new friends at the Camera Corner.